Good morning. This topic today is going to be about using your resources well. Are you? That's a question I've been asking myself the past week or so. Actually, probably about 2 weeks. There's a small kitchen issue that we had, and I'll tell you about what's been going on. Basically, there was a funk in our fridge and it was driving me nuts. My ice was picking it up, my eggs were picking it up, butter, just about all the normal things that are sensitive to picking up other odors was, getting that smell. And I don't know that I'm a super taster or anything like that, but I do detect those funky little tastes. So was my husband, and it was making us batty. We couldn't figure it out. I'd kept cleaning out the fridge. I got out even the bleach. I'm like, man, what is it? I'm like, using that, but you get desperate, right? So I kept cleaning it and cleaning it and cleaning it and making sure there was nothing gross in there. The first time I did, I found a cucumber that I thought, well, I missed this one. This is looking kind of cruddy. Maybe that's the problem. Wasn't the problem because we kept having the same issue over and over. So finally, I think I figured out, those little drink squirting flavors that you can buy like at Walmart, Mio and Great Value brands of those. Even Aldi has them. Those little fruity flavors, it was a fruitiness, and that's kind of what the good Lord brought to my mind, was I kept detecting a fruitiness in my eggs. I don't like fruitiness in my eggs. That's gross. But I kept detecting that, and I'm like, what is it? And God brought it to my mind that fruit was kind of the tone or the taste I was detecting. And then it hit me, those drink flavors, most of them are fruity flavored, right? And what it was is there was a couple of them that the lids just weren't quite snapped all the way closed. So what we did is we decided to put all those into a bag, and then I was still detecting the same stinking thing. And we put them in a second bag, so they're double bagged now. And pretty much the smell is gone. The problem is it was already embedded in all my eggs and all my butter. Didn't really like that very much. I'm trying to still air out what we can of that, but the problem is it's caused a loss of food. I'm not happy about that. So I'm asking myself, what can I better do to prevent this in the future? Yes, we can still eat the food. Yes, the food is still fine. Most of the stuff we're still just trudging through. The eggs and the butter, it's just so obnoxious. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to salvage them. There are some that were completely unsalvageable, some eggs that were sealed. I'm trying to give them some time before I use them and see if maybe the smell will just kind of go away. I'm hoping, I don't know. I have some butter that's sitting out on the counter trying to air it just to see if maybe in time it'll go away. I don't know. And I'm trying to think of other uses for it that won't be picked up in the food that we make. So if you have ideas there, please let me know. Or any way to de-skunk it, as I'm calling it. Ugh, it's just so gross. I know it's picky and I'm spoiled and so forth. I know I should get over it. But that stuff bothers me because it just reminds me of a rottenness, and it's just like, ugh. Anyway, I'm sure I'm making all kinds of funny faces for you. But it got me thinking, what about the resources that we have? How well am I using them? How well am I cleaning my fridge? How frequently? Because one thing that really, really bothers me when I go to clean the fridge is when I'm throwing away a veg or something that I have bought with full intentions to eat, and it's gone bad before I've gotten to it. And it's usually because, maybe poor planning, that's one, but also you buy something with the good intentions to eat it. I'm going to make all these yummy, yummy Sally veggies and have some lighter sides and so forth, and then maybe you don't do it. But that's not good. That's wasteful, and I don't like being wasteful. I really don't. I do everything I can, and at least I feel like I do everything. I probably need to do a whole lot more, and that's the whole point of this video. But I need to do better about not wasting my food. I try, but I know I've got more try in me, and that's what I want to challenge you guys to do. What can you do not to waste your food? In the particular instance here, we're talking about the fridge. What I'm going to do is when I buy eggs, I'm going to start bagging them and leaving them in their cartons. Of course, I leave them in their cartons anyway, but I'm going to put the bags around them. I have some really large reclosable Ziplocs. I'm going to use some of those, and I can reuse them. That way it's not a big expense. But also just even like a bag, plastic bag from Save-A-Lot, I can wrap it around the carton and then store them in the fridge with the bag around them. That will help. The same with butter and things like that. I want to make sure something like this doesn't happen again, whether it's from a food going bad and causing a stink, or somebody accidentally leaves one of those little, drink flavors out and causes it to smell up the whole fridge. I don't like losing food. And in this particular instance, we tend to keep a lot of eggs, partly because of my keto and low carb eating, but my husband and I like to have eggs most days. And that's a lot of eggs to lose. And butter, as you all know, butter is not cheap. And losing very much butter is not something that's appealing to me. That's why I'm trying to save it. I haven't thrown any of that away, but I'm trying to save it. Some of the eggs, I boiled those up, and I was going to, at very least, give some of them to the birds, because birds will eat them for the calcium and the nutrition in them. Kind of weird, birds eating the eggs, but anyway, giving them some of them to my blue jays, but I want to be able to have them for human use as much as possible. So trying to do what I can there, but the critical thing for me is making sure I learn from it and it doesn't happen again. Of course, we all know we got to clean our fridges out, but sometimes things that you don't think of, like those drink flavors, are just so powerfully and chemically strong that it's going to happen, and it permeates the whole thing. And it's just not a pleasant thing when you have that funkiness going on, whether it's from something that doesn't really hurt anything. You're not losing anything with those drink flavors. Nothing's gone bad, you've not wasted, but just it damaging the other foods. I didn't like that. So I want to make sure it doesn't happen again. So be thoughtful about when you put things in your fridge. Are they going to go funky on you? Just one way to use our resources well. And I want to do a series on this, using our resources well, because I think it's important. My husband gives me resources of money that he has worked hard for. He has spent time earning these funds, and it's important that I don't waste them. And I feel very bad that if I had been a little bit more diligent with that in the fridge, that maybe some of these resources that are probably going to end up going to waste, that might not have happened if I'd been a little bit more careful. So I want to make sure that I'm careful from here out, so all of that time and money that he's put in earning those paychecks, that doesn't go to waste. And of course, these are resources that God gives us as well. And I don't want to waste God's resources, and I'm sure you guys don't either. So this new video here is going to probably to be a series of using our resources well. Before, I'd wanted to do a series on doing frugal tips, but I thought, yes, but frugal for frugal's sake is not necessarily where it needs to be. It needs to be on remembering, what does God give us? What resources has He blessed us with? We may have worked for them, but He's still ultimately blessed us with them, right? So let us use them well. And let us think of things where we use our resources well. I'm probably going to do a series here in the next few minutes on each individual topic that I've already thought of as I've gone about my week, and then things have come up to my mind. I'm like, okay, that's another resource I'm not using as well as I could. So this is the start to it. Have a very blessed day.